Nvidia made early investors over 10,000% returns in a decade. Now, Wall Street analysts are quietly pointing at another chip company and saying the same thing could happen again. That company is Micron. And if you think memory chips are boring, you're about to completely change your mind. Here's the thing most people get wrong about the AI boom. Everyone thinks it's all about processing power. Nvidia makes the GPUs run the AI models. Nvidia wins. Simple story, right? But that's only half the picture. Think of it like a race car. The engine gets all the glory. But if you don't have a big enough fuel tank, the car stops. In the world of AI, memory is the fuel tank. And right now, the AI industry has a serious fuel tank problem. When companies like Google, Microsoft, and OpenAI train and run massive AI models, those models need to move enormous amounts of data incredibly fast. We're talking hundreds of gigabytes per second. The bottleneck isn't always the processor. Sometimes it's the memory. Specifically, how fast the memory can feed data to the chip that needs it. If the memory is slow, the whole system slows down. It doesn't matter how powerful your GPU is. This is where Micron comes in. They're one of only 3 companies in the entire world that makes a specialized type of memory called HBM, which stands for high bandwidth memory. The other 2 are Samsung and SK Hynix, both based in South Korea. Micron is the only American company in this club. And right now, that club is becoming one of the most valuable places to be in the entire semiconductor industry. So what exactly is HBM and why does everyone suddenly care about it? Regular memory, the kind in your laptop or phone, is designed to be cheap and widely available. It does the job fine for normal computing, but AI is not normal computing. AI workloads need memory that can transfer data at speeds that would make your laptop's RAM look like a garden hose next to a fire hydrant. HBM stacks multiple layers of memory chips on top of each other, almost like a skyscraper instead of a single-story building, and then connects them directly to the processor using thousands of tiny connections underneath. The result is memory that can move data somewhere between 3 to 10 times faster than standard memory. For AI, that's not a nice to have. That's essential. Here's where the Nvidia comparison starts to make sense. Remember why Nvidia exploded? It wasn't just that they made GPUs. It was that they made the right GPUs at exactly the right moment when the world needed them. They had years of investment in CUDA, their software platform, and nobody else could easily catch up. There was a massive gap between demand and supply. Prices went up, profits went up. The stock went absolutely vertical. Micron is sitting in a strikingly similar position right now. Demand for HBM is growing faster than anyone can produce it. Analysts at Morgan Stanley, Citi, and KeyBank have all upgraded Micron and flagged HBM as the core reason. Micron has said publicly that their HBM capacity for 2024 is already sold out. Sold out. Every chip they can make is already spoken for. And 2025 is filling up fast. Now, Micron isn't just coasting on existing technology either. Their latest product, HBM3E, is genuinely competitive with anything Samsung or SK Hynix is offering. In some benchmarks, it's actually pulling ahead. Nvidia has already qualified Micron's HBM3E for use in their H200 GPU, which is the most powerful AI chip Nvidia sells right now. That's a huge deal. It means Micron isn't a backup option. It's a primary supplier for the most in-demand AI hardware on the planet. And let's talk about the financials for a second because the numbers tell a compelling story. Memory chips are a cyclical business. There are boom years and bust years. Micron just came out of one of the worst downturns in the industry's history. Between 2022 and 2023, memory prices crashed. Micron lost billions. The stock got cut in half. But cyclical downturns create cyclical recoveries, and HBM is turbocharged that recovery in a way that's different from previous cycles. Because unlike standard memory, HBM commands much higher margins. We're talking about chips that sell for significantly more than commodity memory. So as HBM becomes a larger portion of Micron's revenue, the profit profile of the entire company starts to look very different. Wall Street calls this a mix shift. More high-margin product means more profit, even if total unit volume stays the same. It's not just that Micron is selling more chips, it's that they're selling more expensive, more profitable chips. That's exactly the kind of structural change that can re-rate a stock dramatically. So what does this mean if you're watching from the outside? A few things worth thinking about. First, the AI infrastructure build-out is nowhere near done. Companies are spending hundreds of billions of dollars on data centers over the next several years. Every one of those data centers needs HBM. Supply is constrained. Micron is one of 3 people who can help. Second, geopolitics actually matters here. There's growing pressure in Washington to reduce dependence on Asian chip suppliers. Micron is an American company with American manufacturing. That's not a coincidence Wall Street is ignoring. Government support and favorable policy could become a real tailwind. Third, risks are real. Memory is still a cyclical business. If AI spending slows down, HBM demand could soften. Competition from Samsung and SK Hynix is fierce. Micron is not a sure thing. But the structural case, the AI tailwind, the HBM margins, the supply constraints, it's a combination that doesn't come around very often. The pattern Wall Street is seeing is a company with the right product, at the right time, with almost nobody else able to fill the gap quickly. Sound familiar? It should. That's the same story Nvidia told just a few years earlier. Whether history rhymes exactly, nobody knows. But ignoring Micron in the AI conversation is starting to look like a serious oversight. And if you're a YouTube creator yourself, check out CPM Scout at cpmscout.com. It shows you exactly which topics pay the highest CPM so you can make smarter videos. Link in the description.